What you're looking at here is an on-ramp or entrance ramp merging with the main lane. That is what we examined in the previous video. In this video, we're looking at the converse to that, where traffic from the main lane is now merging into the on-ramp. The reason for that would be vehicles wanting to take the fork that is ahead. Now, there may not be much of a lead section, and so this can give rise to two possible hazards, which we'll see in each of the following real-life clips. So traffic coming along the on-ramp or the entrance ramp needs to be aware of any vehicles crossing over their path into the on-ramp, as is illustrated in this animation. So there, the red vehicle crossing over into the path of the green vehicle. We are going to have a look at the first of the two hazards in this particular scenario. So with the first one, you see the vehicle on the left-hand side, the truck or the pickup truck, crossing over into the path of the camera and wanting to take the exit. So you see that there wasn't much of a lead section. So that's the one danger. There not being much of a lead section. So a vehicle doesn't have much room to play with and is fairly desperate in order to get across so as to be able to take the exit. I'm just going to go back a section here because a warning sign for the camo, which we pointed out in one of the previous videos, let me just progress it to a point. And notice the positioning of the pickup truck in the lane. So what we said in the previous video is that wherever you see a vehicle that is positioned to the side of a lane, then there's a great chance or likelihood that that vehicle is going to want to cross over into the lane adjacent to that. And that is the case over here. The vehicle's positioned on the right side of the lane, so wanting to move into the lane that is to the right of that. And the converse there would be true as well. If it was positioned on the left side of the lane, then any vehicles traveling down the left side need to be aware or alert to such a vehicle wanting to cross over into that lane. Fortunately, the camera is positioned just a little bit to the rear of the vehicle ahead of it. And so what we also brought out in the previous video is that where you have a vehicle traveling in an adjacent lane, you don't want to be traveling alongside that vehicle where part of your vehicle is overlapping. So fortunately for the camera here, the front of his or her vehicle wasn't overlapping in any way with the vehicle alongside it. So this is the second danger that can arise when traffic from the main lane moves into the on-ramp or the entrance ramp. So the one was the limited distance that the vehicle has to cross over. Here we'll see what the other danger is. So we've got this vehicle in the main lane wanting to move across into the on-ramp section. We have this pickup truck on the on-ramp wanting to exit and merge into the main lane. So did you see the danger there? There's a whole line of stationary traffic that's built up in that on-ramp section. And so that lead section is now a bit clogged with traffic. I'm just going to go back a bit. And fortunately, the driver of the pickup truck was quite alert because this vehicle was forced to have to slow down quite radically in order to get into the back of the queue, not leaving much space for the pickup truck to be able to exit. But he was wide awake and so managed to swerve to avoid the vehicle. So that's a second danger, a line of traffic in that lead section. In this third clip, what we're looking at here is just the opposite to what we discussed further or earlier rather with regards to an on-ramp. And you may recall that where there's a slower vehicle traveling along the on-ramp and a faster vehicle coming up behind, then the driver more than likely would want to pull out from behind the slower vehicle, cross over the island section into the faster moving main lane. So here we've got just the converse to that. In the main lane, we have the slower moving line of traffic, a more open, faster moving lane along the on-ramp or entrance ramp. And so you'll always have that one person, the wise guy, wanting to cross over into the more open lane. So it could be that this driver needed to get into the on-ramp because he wants to take the fork ahead, but was too impatient to wait until he got to the point where he was free to cross over. So any vehicles coming down the on-ramp need to be alert to this situation where we've got a slower moving lane of traffic, that any vehicles might want to break away from that main line into the on-ramp. Please like, subscribe, and get notified.